live.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
Yeah,
everyone. This
Scott
one's
was
gonna be a good one.
off camera. How am I? And I am good. I am good. After months of sideways.
We're back on.
We
Oh,
are
thank all of the various gods. God, that was a sucky
absolutely.
couple of months, wasn't it?
I mean, it's a pat yourself on the back to everybody that was just, okay, this is what's happening. I won't switch off. And here we are. This is the other side of it. And
And
this is how you do it.
I think there's a few lessons in that, right? Like the time when we all felt like, oh, fuck, I don't want to even check the charts every day. That was the absolute bottom. The
Oh,
the moment when I felt like, oh my God, I'm so glad that FinRev is short, even though I'm wildly bullish.
yeah.
Like I was so glad. And
The adult was in the room.
well, FinRev has given back a lot of it, a fair bit of its profits over the last couple of days while it's been winding down the short positions. But if those had kept going, if we were all completely wrong and the bull market was over, wow, I mean, FinRev would have kept us in the game. And for most of us, I have a spot portfolio. You have a spot portfolio, right?
Yep.
That got savaged in the downturn, except for Etadio, which is saving my house, which we'll discuss. But FinRev crushed it, and now the spot portfolio is up massively.
Mm.
And FinRev is taking a breather, but FinRev has switched bullish. So for the first time since October, we've got our automated systems and you and me and Maurizio all singing from the same hymn sheet. And that's something we haven't had for a while because when FinRev says a different thing to me, it's usually right. But when we're both on together, it's like, yeah, magic happens.
Alignment. It really is.
It is. Can I start presenting how the participants?
Yeah,
Good morning, everyone.
Good. Let me get out of the way.
Have coffee. 6 a.m. here in Thailand. Oh my God, guys! Thailand has been Phuket, where I live, is a tropical island, and you just can't make this stuff up. We had a flood, and the power was out for an hour, so I camped off to a hotel. Came back the next day, the power's back on, and some idiot crashed a motorcycle into a pole below the fiber optic connection for the internet for the island. It set fire to the fiber optic line, the plastic surrounding the fiber optic lines at the end of my street. So we've had no internet all day. And yeah, it's tried my patience. FinRev is going to crank right now, and we're going to talk a little bit about that because increased volatility in the market is very strongly correlated with FinRev returns. Shall I get this cracking? Are we good to go, Ian?
Let's do it, mate.
All right. Very excited to be here. My name is Scott Phillips. Most of you know me. There is an old trader saying that the bull train has to leave empty. And when all the bulls turn bearish in the context of a bull market, then things are ready to take off. Let's dive into the evidence that we have. We had from October to about mid-March, we had like up only. And then we had 3 months of this very, very frustrating sideways bullshit. We were all hoping that it would find a low here and break out. It didn't quite work out that way. We were hoping that it would find a way here and find a low here and work out, and it didn't work out that way. What it did is it faked to the downside, made everyone think we were starting a new bear market. It was all over. We were completely wrong. But let's zoom in and walk you through what's really the latest thing happening. So let's start with Bitcoin. And let's look at the daily chart. So this is our big line in the sand, right? It goes below here and our confidence in the bull market thesis has to go down. So it went down, faked out, attracted buyers, tried to go down again and failed, closed higher, back in the range. This little section here is always the clue. You see this at most bottoms, and we see it at this bottom. Faking out through the bottom of the range, going up back into the range and retesting, trying and failing, and then off to the races. And we saw it previously. Here's our range, got to the bottom of the range, tried, couldn't get there, and then we retested the lows and off to the races. We saw it here. We're in a trading range, broke through, faked everyone out, off to the races. This is generally the pattern, and there's strong reasons for that. The reasons are that all the guys who are going to sell sold here. All of the weaker traders, the closet bears, the guys who are ready to pack it up and say, oh, it's all over, they all left here. What happens is they're hoping that the market will do this. They're now hoping, if you sell out here, you're secretly hoping that it all goes down so you look pretty smart. If instead the market does the opposite, these guys here are forced to go, what the fuck? I sold at 55, 56. Now it's 64. I've got to buy now, or I might be forced to buy at 75. It puts them in a shitty place. Now, let's look at the evidence since the lows. We're looking for a couple of specific things. We're looking for a retest of the lows, which we have here. The second thing is that we're looking for a moment that it looks quite bearish, which is bought. Now, if you look at this, the way that it was a week ago, hard to make the case that this isn't a short-term downturn, right? This isn't a downtrend. We're making, when you strip the bullshit out of it, lower highs. We're stair-stepping down like this. It's hard to make the case that we're not going to do that, right? When we do the opposite of that, whoa, this one here is the clue. This was this weekend, we got small buying pressure, medium buying pressure, slightly bigger buying pressure. And then on the Monday, Maurizio and I called the bottom to the start of leverage trading season. And we went up instead of going down. This is the clue. Now, after that point, what we're looking for is a string of days where the low of this day, where the sellers can't push it below the low of the previous day. So the sellers couldn't push it below the low of the previous day here, the low of the previous day here, the low of the previous day here, there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row. Whenever we see 5 days in a row of that, we're pretty sure that we're going to get a second leg. The next thing that we're looking at is that pullbacks are limited to intraday. So the pullback here was limited to the top of the day, top of the day, top of the day, or no pullback there. This pullback was heavily bought. This pullback, if we drop down to an hourly chart, also bought so far. So we have an ideal situation here. We have Bitcoin making that series of higher highs and higher lows. That's what we want to see. We also want to see it on altcoins. And we see it slightly stronger in altcoins, where this is the total altcoin market without Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, USD Tether, and USD and USDC. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. Sorry. So we see exactly the same thing. We saw altcoins savaged harder than Bitcoin because they're riskier. We saw this fake out to the lows. But now look at the strength that we've seen. We got back to where we were really in March, like this, where we are today. That's probably the median range of where we've been for the last couple of months. So if this is the bottom, this is the medium, this is the top. Our next task for the market, if the market can get to there in a relatively straight line, and what I mean is something like that, it's probably going to break out. Why is it probably going to break out? Because look at the evidence that we have here. We have all through here. Look at how much overlap we have every day to the previous bar. This bar is overlapped with this bar. They're all overlapped. They're all overlapped. They're all overlapped. They're all overlapped. Overlapping bar ranges tell us that we're probably in a trading range. A trading range is a special type of market where if it gets cheap, people buy it. If it gets expensive, people sell it. And you can see this characteristic trading range has happened for months and months and months. You know, it goes up, people sell it, lots of overlap, previous bars, lots of series of up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down. Very, very hard to pick. Now, this is a fundamental property of markets. This was easy mode. This is on sheet mode. All of this period here. This period here, for those who've tried to trade, has been hard mode. This has been very, very difficult trading, expert trading. Most of you have probably lost money trading during this period. We've started trading properly here. And this is the easy mode on again. And this is the natural cycle of things. Easy, hard, easy. So we're heading into this easy mode that's going to make trading very, very easily. And that very, very easy. And that's why we've started the leverage trading right now. Let me just show you how that's going. Just log into my accounts and you just connect. Okay. So our one leverage trade here, let's look at it. Actually, let's look at it on a longer time frame. So before we had this, the BBBs are when I bought, and the S's are when I sold. So you can see that we had a small leverage trade at the lows in case this one went off. We had to bail here, bailed for a small profit. We got long as hell right here. I added to the position here, got some heat. Now we're in profit, and our $7,000 balance has driven to $12,000 because we have a $5,000 profit. we're up 80 odd percent, 92% on this trade that we just took a week ago. This is the type of thing that's possible if you hold your nuts in your hand and you go, wow, this is the time to bet. And the time to bet is when blood is in the water. It really sets the stage for a magnificent rally here. The market's exhausted sellers. It's exhausted sellers in two ways. First of all, by boring the crap out of you. This is boring. And I know, because none of you were even interested in listening to my bullshit during here. Everyone was most interested in what I had to say about the markets here. This was interesting. And now we're back to interesting. How can we see that in real time? We can see that the market is most interesting when volatility is going up. When volatility, and this is average true range percent, is going up, you can see that the market is most interesting. From here to here, it was actually pretty interesting. From here to here, shit. The best way to win in these periods is to not trade. This period here, very interesting, but complicated because it started here. We got short. We're current in our FinRev different FinRev accounts. So our FinRev accounts made a lot of money while we're short, and we gave most of it back while we flipped along. This is not a big deal because increases in volatility are very, very strongly correlated with profits. So right now, let me show you what FinRev is looking like. There's a data error in this account that's wrong. But so mostly we made a lot of money and then we gave some back during the recent unpleasantness. So this guy's put in 64,000. This guy's put in $82,000. He's made $64,000 profit this year, and he's got 147,000. If we want to take a look at my
Sorry, dude, I perhaps missed something. You're not sharing your screen at the moment.
oh my God, I'm apologizing. 1 second.
Only be from a moment ago.
Sorry, only from a moment ago, was it?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, let me switch accounts. But I'm having issues with that. Okay. I'll get to that later. So it sets the stage for a magnificent rally. The market's exhausted sellers, first with boredom in here, and then with fear around here. And you can see the volatility is rising, which is strongly predictive of future gains in this period. And there's a statistical relationship, which I won't bore you with. The market is behaving like one where a lot of participants are sidelined. What does that mean? It means that they puked their positions at the lows, or they became bearish at the lows. Now, this is the problem with becoming bearish. There's a couple of guys in the Real Trading Group who've been bearish and they've crushed it. But now these guys have a problem. Am I still bearish? Do I bank my profits? I've wiped out half my profits real quickly. Do I jump long? Do I get out to the sidelines? These guys are faced with a very, very difficult decision. Now, these sideline positions tend to behave in a very specific way. They buy any dip because they know it might be their only chance. And if we go back to 2021, you can see that once we get out of these trading ranges, any dip is bought. Any dip is bought. Even single day dips are bought. Single day dips are bought. Any decent dip is bought. That's the way bull markets go. And why? Because they know it might be their only chance. And that's what we're seeing, is that every single dip, even if it's only a single day dip, is attracting buyers. So now I'm going to have to re-log into actually I won't, because I've already got the screenshots. Let's look at the largest positions in our FinRev automated position system. So our largest longs are TRX. I'll go through them all. So this is the way that our system works. Our system has 6 different algos, which are all these little dot plots. A 10 is a strong buy, 20 is a maximum buy, a -10 is a strong short, and -20 is a maximum short. So TRX is our largest position. You can see we had a small long position here, but we've ramped it up through here and we're still long. TRX is a very good long. I don't know why. It's a shitcoin. I hate it. I'd never buy it, but it's been printing money for us even while the market's been crashing. The next long that we have is Ethereum, and we went long about here. Now, for all you technical analysis guys in the chat, where would you, if you were short here, so here we were long, we banked profits, banked profits, banked profits, we went short here. Where would you say that short is wrong and you have to get long? How many bars from the end in the chat, please? Five bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 8 or 9 back. Probably a very good trader you are, Tom. I think a very good trader would have recognized probably this bar as the one. Alex Gordon, 10 or 11, 9. So our system got long 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars back. A very good trader will get long 9 bars, 10 bars. 11 bars, I think, is a bit of a stretch, dude. Somewhere between 9 and 11. So what we're looking at is an algorithm that's a couple of days behind what a totally expert trader would do, and probably like a safe expert trader. Like, here is the point where, here's the point where we probably definitely getting long. Here is the point where we got long. Here is the point where a true expert on his game gets long. So it's a little bit lagging, but not much. Now let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, we've been mostly long up till here. We got out of all our profits. We got short right here, stayed short, and recognized we were wrong right here. That's pretty good. That's pretty good trading. Let's look at the next one. BNB, one of my favorite coins. BNB, we've been bullish the whole way, and you can see why. You can see why we've been bullish the whole way, because it's done this. It looked like it wanted to break out. It's done this. We were bullish the whole way, and this is the 9th of June. So this was, sorry. So this, we were very bullish. We were bullish the whole way. I want you to see how quickly we ratcheted off most of our risk. So within 4 or 5 days, we've gone from uber bullish to pretty flat. And then we've got temporarily bearish here. And now we're back to bullish here. We're at a 4.2, which is a half size position. Pepecoin had a problem yesterday. There was a hack of a big Indonesian exchange called Wazir X, and they held some Pepe and some sheep. That's probably going to recover today. The hackers weren't very good. Now, let's look at some bearish coins. So TRB, definite shitcoin. We were bullish here in this period. We quickly cut our exposure and we went short here, and we've been short, really very short from here. and we're still quite short. We're at a negative 9.4. So this is our biggest short position. What do you guys think of this as a short or a long in the chat? Would you want to be short or would you want to be long? Brad, I'm with you. I think if the market continues to rise, this thing will probably ratchet out of its shorts very quick. And you can see we were at a negative 20 4 days ago. Now we're at a negative 10. Another 3 or 4 days, we'll be back to neutral. Let's look at Atom. We've been short since up here. Maximum short, maximum short. We're still at an average short for Atom. I can't make the case that Atom is a very bullish buy. In fact, the Cosmos ecosystem, the tokenomics are all wrong. Like, it's a great, great product, but the value is not accruing to token holders. So can you see how we've been short since here? And these kind of shorts have been keeping us in the game. It's still not out of the range, Richard Bannister. It's getting close to long, life aside. You know, another three or four days of this, and I'd be ready to at least be flat. Let's look at SKL, which is our third biggest short. You can see that we were short all the way here. We ratcheted off, got slightly long, and then we've been short since here. This one, who wants to be short? A short is a bet that the market is going down, Fee, and a long is a bet that the market is going up. What we are doing, what we are doing is taking a number of bets. We're betting on 100 different coins. We're betting some of them are going down and we're betting some of them are going up. Which exchanges short crypto? Anything that does perpetual futures. So all the ones that we work with do. This is BLZ, which has been a fabulous short for us. You know, we short it while it goes down. We ratchet off the exposure. We short it again. We ratchet off the exposure. We shorted it again here. And you can see now that we're ratcheting up the exposure. The blue line is our forecast, and we get that forecast by an average of many different forecasts. Can you short with US exchanges? Yes, you can. Not all of them, but some of them. Now, the 2024 bull market could be the biggest, but I think it's going to be the longest bull market that we're ever going to experience for a couple of reasons. Today, I'm going to reveal exactly how the whales, the VCs, the institutional investors, they're taking advantage of this last crypto bull market. And it's slightly different than last time. Is there a better exchange we can use? Yes, it's coming on this week. The best exchange to use in the US is, in my opinion, the best two are DYDX version 4. And I also really, really like Hyperliquid Exchange. What about Australian exchanges? Bybit in Australia is the clear winner for execution performance. Today, I'm going to show you the exact strategies I'm using to turn $5,000 into $1 million in 2024. And that's not bullshit. I'm going to show you my accounts. Like, what I do, in essence, is I take long short bets on these dumbass little cryptos when they're hardly worth anything. Like Retardio, I put a couple of grand in, and I'll show you my wallet here, so you can search it yourself. Shit me, it was up 50 grand today, and I've got 200 grand with it. I've got Dolan Tramp worth 10 grand. CoinSpot, the fees are very high, mate. So I would use CoinSpot for getting your money in from your bank account into crypto and then out into an exchange with lower fees. CoinSpot is going to charge you 1% every time you touch it. That is going to hurt you. So if you've missed out on making generational wealth in crypto, or if you got carded out on a stretcher in the last 3 months of bear market, that can happen. My spot bags got absolutely savaged. I know several of our bigger traders in the group got liquidated. Take heart. You can make it all back really, really quickly, even starting with just a tiny little bit of money. This is your second chance, because I'm going to show you in advance how to know which coins are going to moon. Craigo, if you haven't heard of a broker, you probably should assume that they're not a good broker. The ones that I personally use in Australia are Independent Reserve, CoinSpot, and Bybit. I think those are the premier exchanges for Australia. That's just my personal opinion. That's not financial advice. That's just what I personally do with my money. It's going to be your golden ticket to building massive wealth without risking your money. The best US exchange is dydxversion.com, version 4. There's 2 versions. We're currently upgrading. And the second best, I really, really like and use this one, Hyperliquid Exchange. I use it for all my gambling, for all my leverage gambling stuff. You can see exactly what I'm doing here. I have $5,400 profit in this trade, 91.6% in a couple of days. That Maurizio called on the call. So thank you, Maurizio, for that $5,000. I really appreciate it. Promise not to spend it on bad things. I'm going to show you how to build massive wealth without risking your money, because this is the problem with crypto. It's really easy to make money. It's really, really hard to keep it. Takes literally 5 minutes per day. You can do this with just a few $100s. To do that, you're going to mark this date, July 30th. It's currently July 18th in America. Mick, you can buy spot on Hyperliquid now, but the spot exchange is slightly limited. Satish, I would use Coinbase, Gemini, things like that for getting your money in and out of crypto. That's the friction point. That's also why there's so much money in crypto, because it's such a ball ache to put your money in and it's such a ball ache to pull your money out. The temptation is to leave that money sloshing around the casino. That creates certain idiosyncratic effects that we do not see in stocks, which means that once the money is in, it tends to whip into a big froth. And then once the money starts going out, it tends to run for the exits. And this is the idiosyncratic. This is why crypto is different. So what that means is that crypto goes up harder and it goes down harder than the stock market. So I would use exchanges like Coinbase, which are very, very reliable for getting your money in and out. But I wouldn't use them for trading. Their fees are too high. The coins that they list are just lame. I would swap it to a different exchange. It's no accident the market is turning before that should read 30th of July. And you'll see why in just a minute. So who am I? I'm Scott Phillips. This is me. I look like a gorilla. My wife, it's really nice. And this is my daughter. And this is on the banks of the Noosa River in Australia, where I'm from. You might recognize me because in the last bull run, I turned like 40 grand into 756 grand, started this company with that money, built an amazing trading system, which I've got here for you today. Femex is really good in Australia too, in America too. I did this with my automated trading systems, and I live streamed it all. I publicly showed all my winning and losing trades, and I've had plenty of losing trades. I've had thousands of them. But it doesn't bother me anymore. And I did this with full transparency to show people that financial freedom isn't just a pipe dream. I'm Australian, so I'm not really down with bragging, and I don't like showing off. I live a very modest lifestyle. I live on the beach at Phuket, which is a tropical island, and I dress like a homeless person, and I ride a 10-year-old motorcycle. But I have 8 figures in my trading accounts, and I earn several $1 million a year on average, and I couldn't possibly spend the money that I make. And I find that I have infinite money. I can't possibly spend the money I make, no matter what I do. And, you know, I don't buy expensive watches. I don't buy expensive cars. I have a beautiful, beautiful house on the water, but in a place that I love, and I have pets that I love and family that I love. but I can't spend the money that I make. And this is what I want for you guys. I want to show you that financial freedom, like freedom, is the amount of time that you can do whatever the hell you want without someone telling you where to be. I want that for all of you. Everyone who followed my trades back then made bucket loads of money. We've had a great run this bull market, but since then I've made my systems even better. I've gathered some of the world's best quantitative traders, and that is not hyperbole. Our head quant, Robot James, is an ex-BlackRock quant, and he's one of the if you follow him on Twitter at the Robot James, or at his website, robotjames.com, you will see for sure that he is one of the best in the world. And we make incredibly profitable trades with 8-figure accounts. This I just pulled up off our dashboards right now. We've got a total of 12.5 million. We've got 1.1 million on Binance, 762 on Bybit, 6 million on DYDX. I'm hoping to transition most of this to DYDX D4, which I think is a big performance boost. Bybit is probably the best performing account. Bybit and Binance are the best performing exchanges right now. BitGet is quite good. KuCoin is lagging behind. We're trying to get people off KuCoin. So here's my big promise for you. At the end of this presentation, you're going to know how to set your positions for this bull run. So you can know precisely which coins are going to explode. You're also going to know how to always be in profit. And this literally solves the when to sell problem. In a bull run, and we're in a bull run again, like, let's make no mistake. It looks like a duck. It smells like a duck. It quacks a duck, quacks like a duck. It looks like it's on. You got to know when to sell. Otherwise, you can get caught holding the bag and losing everything. And this has happened to me before. In 2017, I started investing here. Well, really here, tripled my money here. I bought more here. I bought more here. I held all the way to the bottom. Sold out here. It dropped, and I didn't buy back in till here. This was a very, very difficult experience for me. This was definitely very hard. I wouldn't recommend holding the bag. You know, that the stuff about crypto, you just hodl, that probably works for Bitcoin, maybe Ethereum, doesn't work for anything else. And you don't want to get caught holding a bag in altcoins, because altcoins go down an average of 95% in a bear market. What I'm about to show you is an autopilot way to know exactly when to sell. And since the system automatically keeps you in profit, you can enjoy your wealth without having to constantly check the phone. And how is this done? The blue line is our system. The yellow line is Bitcoin. You can see sometimes Bitcoin outperforms it, but then shits the bed. Sometimes Bitcoin outperforms it, which is the yellow line, or does as well as it, but then you lose half your money. And then it looks like it's going to be okay, and it's not okay. It looks like you're going to be okay, and it's far from okay. And then it looks like this is a bottom, and you should get long here. And then you get the big womp womp sound. And then right when you think it can't get any worse, Sam Bankman fraud steals everyone's money, and that's the bottom. And you finally caught up now, but oh my God, what a wild ride. Whereas our system, it's steady gains, and you've got sideways periods, long sideways periods sometimes. This is way up here by the way now. It solves the exit problem. You don't have to constantly check it. You can go away for a week. You don't have to log in every day and check. Retardio is still a buy. We're going to look at Retardio in a minute. You're always liquid. And this is a big thing. If you buy Bitcoin in 2021, you have to wait a couple of years before you can sell. Like, you can't just say, okay, I'm going to sell. I've lost 3/4 of my money. Come on, man. That's not okay. You can cash out when you're ready to buy that new car, when you're ready to buy the dream house, when you're ready to pay for the kids' college fund, when you're ready to just go on a vacation or do what I did this year. I had enough trading profits out to buy my dream house, and I did. Because I want to make it real. And I'm going to give you the step-by-step blueprint to actually build your net worth to more than $1 billion. And I know that might sound crazy, but just keep an open mind as you stick with me and entertain the idea that it could be possible for you. And how do we know this? Because all you need is one winning token, like Retardio. I got cock in you early on with $5,000 too, pulled 100 grand out of it. Use that money in FinRev to turn it into something else. And you get one big winner on one of these small, tiny bets, and then you're off and running, and then you can compound that if you get the right time, and now is the right time. Because I'm going to show you how, but first I need to show you why we're in for the biggest bull market in history. And it could be the last really frothy bull market that we'll ever see. Like, I think that this is the last of the great, like, stupid money bull markets. Because once the institutional money comes into crypto, well, it'll just be like another stock market. It'll probably be a little bit riskier than the stock market, so it'll probably pay a little bit more. But stock markets earn on average 8%. We could probably expect 20-30% from crypto, and that's not that exciting compared to what you can do now, where you can put $5,000 into Retardio and get 200 grand back. In 10 years' time, crypto is going to be good for building wealth over 40 years. This is going to be great for it. But you won't see the 1000x gains. You won't see the overnight Lambo money. If you want to take advantage of what could be the last but greatest, and I think this is going to be the greatest bull market ever, you need to pay attention to what's happening with both Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana right now. These are the big dogs. Anyone can do this. So in 2012, the strongest signal in all of finance is when something hits all-time highs. So in 2012, once Bitcoin hit all-time highs of $11 back in the day, rallied 1,800% over the next 9 months. In 2013, you can see it hit all-time highs here and just went ballistic. That was the all-time high, and we had, a couple of years of going sideways. But look what happened once it got out. It just went to the moon. As reliable as clockwork in 2020, the all-time highs predicted another historical bull market. But it only ever happens after all-time highs are breached. You see, once we have all-time highs, the psychology changes. Everyone has a lottery ticket in their pocket. Now let's look at where we are with Bitcoin right now. This was the old all-time highs. We got above them. We dipped below, which is totally normal. And we dipped below in a very specific way. 1, 2, 3. This is the classical counter trend correctional signal. You can see here we go 1, 2, 3. Here we go 1, 2, 3. Here we go 1, 2, 3. If we go to the previous market, 1, 2, 3, and we're also looking for this last stage of the down move to be the scariest, and it has been. This last stage has been the scariest. So we've got everything kind of lining up. Where did I leave? So the general thing is that once we hit all-time highs, most people think that Bitcoin has a decent shot of going to somewhere above $150,000. And if we look at that, in context, that's not That's not impossible. I think 150K, I think maybe even higher if we get a mania. Depends a lot on what the Fed does. If Trump wins the election, changes everything, right? Trump is unashamedly pro-business. He is unashamedly low taxes, pump the stock market. He is unashamedly loving crypto. In the next bull run, I anticipate MicroStrategy never selling BTC. They are religious true believers. I'm not necessarily a religious true believer. I don't like that stuff, but they are. If you are lucky enough, smart enough to own crypto already, you shouldn't sell now. This is not the time to sell. This is the time to buy more because it's happening again. We're pretty early. The 2024 bull market looks like being the strongest ever, but the ETF, the Ethereum ETF launching July 30th, it gives institutions exposure to all these shitcoins. For the first time ever, the new Ethereum ETFs are going to be paired with the CME Ethereum futures, which they already have, and the Bitcoin futures. These guys can make a risk-free bet, which institutional traders call the basis trade. The basis trade is a bit tricky. Most of us want to bet that Bitcoin goes up or Bitcoin goes down, mostly Bitcoin going up. These guys don't want to do that. Why? Because they work for a bank. If they get it wrong, they're going to get fired. But what they do is they buy Bitcoin in an ETF and they short the Bitcoin futures and they collect a risk-free premium. They're going to do that again with Ethereum and then with Solana. The way this works is if Bitcoin goes up, they make money on this side and they lose money on that side and they collect the premium. If Ethereum goes up, they make money on this side and they lose money on that side, they collect the premium. If Ethereum goes down, they lose money here and make money there. So they're not taking a directional risk. This is key. And historically, Ethereum has been between 10 and 30%. And you can see that it's just slightly upticking now. That's 6 times what they can get in the bank. That becomes very attractive. Timmy, whenever you've sold a trade, you've lost a big chunk of your profit. Yeah, overtrading is a problem. So let's be clear about what's happening. When the Ethereum ETF comes along, it's going to drive the basis trade, which is bringing in more institutional traders. When institutional traders or any traders make money on Ethereum, they want to spend it on Ethereum coins. They want to spread it around. They've made a lot of money. They're playing with the casino's money. They're going to bet it spreading further out from Ethereum to Solana to more and more and more and more risky bets. For the first time this cycle, we're seeing traders confident enough to spend their money on tiny altcoins. Now, let's look at the Bitcoin spot Ethereum flow. So we have 11 Bitcoin ETFs. The green line is the average. And we have one GBIT, which is the old shitty Ethereum ETF, which has lost all its money to these guys. But this is the average net inflows. You can see during this sideways period, which was very frustrating for everyone, we didn't make any money. You can see when Ethereum inflows went in, everyone made a lot of money. And look at what's happened the last couple of weeks. We're back on. We really, really are back on. So alt season is here, and let me show you how I can tell you that alt season is here. This is all the coins we follow. Where is the recent lows in Bitcoin? Right here. You can see that everything shit the bed when Bitcoin shit the bed, and most coins did worse than Bitcoin. Now let's move that to the side. See what's happened since the lows. Dark blue line is our Bitcoin line. In the chat, what percentage of coins would you say are beating Bitcoin? We've got Bitcoin, we've got CVX, TRX, and Render not beating Bitcoin. And we've got all of these others, 80, 75, 80. Yeah. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. We've got about 90% of altcoins currently outperforming Bitcoin. Yeah, this will be recorded, bro. So alt season, what is alt season? Alt season is when altcoins outperform Bitcoin and Ethereum. We haven't had that up till now. We've had Bitcoin being the slam dunk bet and altcoins being okay, but kind of like messy. And the new generation of meme coins, we've got Mog, we've got PopCat, we've got Billy, and we've got Retardio, which I'm red hot on, and all the Trump ecosystem coins. These are going to be worth $1 billion each, no doubt in the world. Billy is going to $1 billion, Mog is going to $1 billion, PopCat $1 billion. Retardio, let's look at Retardio. We bought this bad boy here. We put up with 3 months of sideways and people were buying it here. I follow the top holders. None of these guys have sold. If the top holders in this coin aren't selling, why should we sell? Look what it's done in the last month. It's gone from 1 cent up to 9 cents. And this is busting out. It's at $91 million market cap. $91 million, $100 million market cap is a line in the sand for these things. Once they either get to 100 and die, or they get to 100 and go to 500,000, $1 billion. And that's what I'm betting on. I think Retardio still has a 10x in it. Now, Retardio is not subject to rug pulls and jitters. Why? Because you go to Dex Screener, you plug in Retardio, and what you want to do for yourself is check that this liquidity is high, and you want to go through the top holders, and you want to see how well spread out it is. Is there one guy that's holding everything? And there's not. You can see there's a bunch of 1%ers. And then you pick one of them, and you just go and you just go into them and see if they're selling. If these guys aren't selling, who own most of the coin, you shouldn't be selling either. This is the way to play meme coins. Now, the best of the meme coins, Doge is 24 billion, Shiba's 18 billion, Pepe's 3.7 billion. Actually, it's higher than that, and Dog with Hat 2.6 billion. I think some of this new generation, how to buy Retardio, you go to Radium Dex, which is radium.io. You need a Phantom wallet or another Solana wallet. You click on Connect Wallet and you plug in the smart contract address. You have to get the smart contract address right. You get it from Dex Screener and you copy that, plug it into copy paste into there, and we've got a bunch of courses. Sorry, that's going to be too clumsy for me to do here, but we've got a bunch of courses on. They're all free. Sure. This is radium.io, and you want to start with Dex Screener. So it's very easy to get scammed with meme coins. You want to use the contracts that they have here. We've got, Maurizio has a big course on this. It's all free. So I want you to understand this. The beating heart of crypto always has been and always will be the chance for a little guy to throw a few $100s on an unknown coin, do that, and then do it again, and then you're into the millions of dollars. It's happening now, and once that happens, once people hear about, oh, that guy that I know working at the 7-Eleven, he just bought a mansion and now he's rich. That's happening again. Once that happens, retail comes in, and retail isn't here yet, so it's still early. The excitement for the Ethereum ETF is reaching really fever pitch. The halving usually has a sideways period, then moon, and that's what we've got now. So look, in the 2012 halving, we had a shitty period and then it went boom. In the 2016 period, we had a shitty period and then it went boom. In the 2020 period, we had a shitty period and then it went boom. Retardio is not suitable for FinRev Lite for a bunch of reasons that I don't have time to go into. Because these very, very small coins with the 100x and 1000x potential, they don't operate like regular coins. And we can go into that a little bit at the end in the questions. Please ask me again then. So we've got things colliding like never before. We've got the Bitcoin halving, we've got the ETF approval, we've got the Ethereum ETF, we've got the basis trades, we've got alt season starting. And what I like about alt season starting again is that these meme coins are taking off first. We've never seen this before. Check this out. Sorry, it's a bit cumbersome. Come on, Popcat. This is a coin that was nowhere. This was nowhere a couple of days ago. Boom. From doubled in value a couple of days, probably looking like a great buy. We've got MOG. This is now at 758 million. Liquidity is 17 million. This has gone from a shitcoin to a real coin. And look at what happened. Big pullbacks, but this is near all-time highs. I think we're still really early in MOG. I think MOG is going to become a word that people use. I think retardio is going to become a word that people use online. I think that the Trump coins are going to be just a slam dunk massive. The problem with Trump coins is you don't know which one to pick because it's a bit fragmented. But I'm moving on. How much should you invest in these coins? I invest $500 to $5,000. I never do more than that. That's what I personally do. Now, every bull market was started with a halving, but you might not be aware that every bull market also starts with interest rate cuts. Would I choose MOG over Brett every single day? Why? Because Brett is already $1 billion coin. Is it going to be a $10 billion coin? Maybe. MOG is coming from behind. Turbo, I think the same argument applies. It's already done. We've never had everything line up in this perfect storm kind of way, with the fake out to the downside, with the extreme bearishness, with all the good news coming up in the future, with altcoins leading the way, with meme coins. Everyone said meme coins are going to die. That's a flash in the pan. That's just a fad, but it's not a fad. Meme coins are outperforming everything. Mick Bozo, personally, I use independent reserve, but CoinSpot is what most people use. And this is why I think that this is going to be the biggest bull market of all time, but also the longest running crypto bull market we've ever seen. Why? Because of that basis trade. It gives some selling pressure to balance it. Previous bull markets have been a spurt, like a vertical spurt for 3 months, and then they die out like a forest fire. This basis trade keeps us in the game. We could be looking at a 2-year bull market here. We're still very, very early. But if you aren't positioned right, you haven't got a moment to waste. Unlike past bull markets, now we have our AI showing us how to play this thing with a fiddle. Since we started running machine learning on all our signals, it's added quite significantly to our results. The last 2 months, it's been near impossible to make money from crypto. But that changes in the blink of an eye. Crypto goes from we hate it to we love it just so fast. So fast. Current thoughts on ENA going forward? You shouldn't ask what I say. You should look at what I do. This is my stop loss. This is where I bought. I liked it so much I bought more. I have $5,000 in profit, and that's what I and what I'm doing is betting my money on it. So if I'm betting my money on it, that's a lot better than me telling you that I like it. Black Note, what if you don't have $500 on a meme coin? One sol is enough to start with. But the real problem with crypto isn't making the money. Like, it's pretty easy to make money when the sun comes out and everything goes up. Like, all you guys, no matter what you're holding, you're going to make money in the next couple of months. The real problem is fumbling the bag when it ends. And let's be honest, as great as these bull markets are, and this is my third, they always end. And I rarely pick the top, to be honest. Didn't pick it in 2017, didn't pick it in 2021, didn't pick it in March. I'm great at picking bottoms. I don't think anyone can pick the top. The game isn't how much you make, it's how much you keep. Now, today is nothing held back day. We've got no questions off limits. This isn't some kind of bait and switch. Sure, I've got some kind of amazing thing for sale, but I promise you that you'll walk away with every single thing that you need to implement this strategy and access to the automated tools that I use. And just so that I show you that's bullshit, anytime you can go to stats.scottphillipstrading/forecast and you can see what are our top bullish coins and what are our top bearish coins. Yep, exactly here. You want to know what to short? You short the bearish coins. You want to know what to go long? You go long the bullish coins. Super, super easy. Stats.scottphillips.trading.forecast. You have that now. Okay, if you don't know how to trade, we're going to cover that at the end, but you would either do something very, very simple, or you would hold spot bags. That is updated at 0000 every day, GMT. So here's the plan. We've got an alt season now. It's just starting. We've called it. I've taken my own money on bets. I am balls long. You're going to use our 100x Coin Club picks or whatever you're using now. If you just got a list of coins that you like, they're probably all going to go up. But most of you are already doing that with great success. I'm going to show you in a few minutes how to take the profits from this 100x Coin Club, get about 10xing that on autopilot without ever risking your profits. Kaylee, I said 5 is a half position, 10 is an average position, 20 is a max position. Now, when I say 10x returns on autopilot, you might think that's high, but since 2019, what I'm going to show you today, it's turned a $10,000 starting investment into 203 grand. You're going to see a press button make money system that's made money every single year since we started in 2019. Every single year. This is Bitcoin, has some good years, has some bad years. Our system has made money every single year. It has 12 million of our own money, making 100% per year. It earns risk-adjusted returns better than Ray Dalio and George Soros put together. And that's not just hyperbole, that's a fact. It works in bull markets and it works in bear markets. Even if you're a complete beginner, even if you're starting with $500, it printed money during the SPF, FTX debacle, the BlockFi, the Voyager, all that bullshit that just made everyone want to slit their wrists. Every other crypto disaster, we've made money. It requires no thinking, no luck, and no predictions. And you don't have to take my word for that. Let's just look at what happened while the crypto market was shitting the bed. Sorry. Last 90 days. I'll do it later. But anyway, it's worked. Requires no thinking, no luck, no prediction, requires zero knowledge of crypto or blockchain. It runs on autopilot. You don't need to check it at all. Takes 3 minutes to set up. We're going to set it up today in front of you. So you can, if you can set up Netflix, you can do this. It requires no technical skill. It takes the risk out of crypto. Why? because it makes money all the time. It has sideways periods, but then it makes money. It has sideways periods, but then it makes money. It doesn't go down. 4 of the biggest 10 hedge funds in the world use this. It's created countless billionaires and multimillionaires like this guy, John Henry. He owns the Liverpool Football Club, the Boston Red Sox. He's made it all from trend following. This guy, Cliff Asness, one of my heroes, he runs $150 billion now, and he has $1.6 billion himself. He wrote the second ever academic paper on trend following. I've been doing this since 2014 in the traditional finance markets. This has made me wealthy, and my returns this year to date have been 149.46%. Actually, that's down to 144%. Sorry. So I had a 6% losing month last month. 2023, I made 51%. 2022, I made 89%. 2021, I made 32%. And 2020, I made 18%. This is not nearly as good as crypto, but shit, I got 10 million bucks out of it. Like, it's not that bad. It's all based on the oldest and most consistent way of profiting from any market, which is trend following. Trend following is the oldest and best way of profiting from any market. And it's also very, very easy. The trend's your friend. What is trend following? It's the very simple idea that if a coin starts going up, it has a higher probability of continuing to go up. It's a law of the universe. And it's what we see again and again and again. A coin becomes hot. It's fashionable. It's like Tinder. You swipe right on the hot coin. Everyone talks about it. It goes up faster. Also goes down faster, but we got a solution to that too. But once it starts going up, it's probably going to keep going up. And this is the simple idea. This was previously available only to the largest hedge funds in the world. Why? Because you have to do it with 40 or 50 or 100 markets. You need the Chicago Mercantile Exchange margin for all those. And that's about 700 grand to trade a decent universe. I started out doing it with 400 grand, but even then it was a bit sketchy. So there's an entire $300 billion industry. They've been printing money hand over fist for 40 years. Not one trend following hedge fund's ever blown up. It's worked for 137 years. Firms like Dunn Capital have outperformed the S&P 500 by 475% over 50 years. But these guys in traditional finance have big, big drawdowns. 52, 28, 43, 35, 30. These are going to scare the crap out of ordinary people. But when we do it with crypto, our drawdowns are limited to 20%, 20.2%. My retirement accounts are with my buddy Paul Mulvaney, who is now become one of my idols. The blue line is my retirement accounts. The gray line is the S&P 500. Keep in mind that since 2000, this has been the strongest stock market in America in all of recorded history. I've kicked its ass. I've absolutely kicked its ass with quite a low Sharpe rates, quite a low Sharpe. It's only a Sharpe of 0.55 compared to our FinRev Sharpe of 1.7. FinRev is 3 times as good as this, risk adjusted, and I'm still nearly 5 times above the S&P 500 over 20 years. The trend following index has crushed this is the light blue line is an index of every trend following firm equal weighted that has a track history of 10 years or longer. You can see that the gray line, which is the S&P 500, it's not even close. And in the worst times for the S&P 500, everyone's scared of another 2008. Look what happened here. Another 2008, fucking Yahtzee. I made 108% that year. Now, let's go back to the old school. The old school, the first human city was in ancient Sumeria, modern-day Iraq. They didn't use money. Before they even came up with the concept of money, these bad boys used barley for money. They had these cuneiform tablets they all dug up. with the price of money. This is the oldest price data we have. You want a back test? Let's go back 5,000 years. It works just as well as it did. In the 16th century, the first derivatives markets, the first futures markets were in Japan. Japan was feast and famine with rice futures. They had rice futures markets. They knew all about trend following. That concept of the retest of the lows and all the price patterns I talk about in my daily emails, these aren't from me. These are from 16th century Japanese rice futures trading trend followers, and they knew about it, and it worked just as well then as it did today. Cliff Asness, the second academic to publish on this, he did a study for the last 100 years, and every decade, you can see every single decade has been positive. It's got correlation with the equity market of almost nothing. The big problem with leaving your money in buy and hold stocks is at the time, stocks do great 6 years out of 10, and then 1 year out of every 15, they shit the bed, but they tend to shit the bed at the worst possible time. They shit the bed at the same time as real estate, at the same time as your freelance business dries up, at the same time as your general contracting business, you can't buy a customer. Like, they tend to hurt when it hurts to get hurt, but trend following tends to make money when it hurts to get hurt. This is very important. This is an underappreciated aspect of it. What I'm trying to say is that trend following is close to a law of gravity we have in the financial markets. It's worked in stocks, it's worked in bonds, it's worked in real estate, worked in FX, it's worked in commodities. Every single country in the world for as long as money has existed, and before money even existed, it worked for 10,000 years. How can anything work for 10,000 years? Because it works on greed, works on fear. And human nature hasn't changed. Human psychology hasn't changed. We still get greedy. If Bitcoin goes to 100,000, I guarantee I'm going to be greedy, hella greedy. If Bitcoin drops to 30,000 here, I guarantee I'm going to be like heart palpitations, not sleeping well. I'm going to be very scared. People are still the same. The amazing thing, the real point of today's presentation, the opportunity of our lifetimes, is it works 6 times as well in crypto. So, using Bitcoin as a benchmark, you can see that sometimes Bitcoin outperforms it, but Bitcoin has this unpleasant property where it tends to drop by half in a couple of months, make it all back, drop by half. And, since then it's gone up and then dropped, and it's just a pain in the ass. Like, for those who say that hodling is the way, full credit to you if you can stick it out, but that's a tough guy strategy. So what we call the greatest discovery in little guy finance, instead of talking about it, let me show you. So let's look at right now. So this is all the coins we follow. This vertical line is where everything shit the bed a couple of weeks ago, like 10 days ago. We're going to put this vertical line on the left-hand side and see which coins are doing best. The dark blue line is Bitcoin. The immediate thing you should notice is that anything doing worse than Bitcoin is immediately suspect. If a coin is going to win this cycle, it's probably got to be beating Bitcoin. What's beating Bitcoin? INJ, Rune, NIA. What's this other one under here? OP, Jupiter, MKR, Aave, Sui, Pendle. You want to be concentrated in these coins near the top. And let me show you how that worked in previous bull markets. So the bull market in this one in 2021, it happened in 2 stages. So the first stage was from about the start of 2021 up to about the end of May. And the second stage was from about July up to December. So let's look at how they go. So the clear winner here, the coin that you want to own above all others, is Matic. Now, if we go back here, you can see See, Matic started to outperform its peers very, very early. Okay, so Matic started to outperform its peers very early. Doge, let me make that so it's a bit easier to see. Right away. You can see that Doge was the second best performing coin, but it really started to outperform its peers there. Third best coin, Solana, was outperforming its peers way back here, the purple line. Chili's, the red line, you can see here it started to outperform its peers. It's the key sign that we're looking at, because remember, strength begets strength. The race isn't always to the swift, the battle isn't always to the strong, but that's damn sure the way to bet. This is how you do it, kids. You know, all that technical analysis, chart reading, this is really what makes that work. Now let's look at the second half of the bull market, which started in Sorry, did I just drop out there, guys?
No, you were good.
I was good. Let me just make sure that I have power. Now I have power. Sorry.
There we go.
Okay. Am I sharing or not sharing?
No, we need to reshare.
Sorry about that, guys. I live on a tropical island and we've had power problems the last couple of days. So the coin you really wanted to own was AVAX. You can see that AVAX was the clear winner, but it started to outperform its peers right back here. What else did you want to own? You wanted to own NIA, but NIA started to outperform its peers, the brown line right back here. You also wanted to own Mana. Same basic deal. You wanted to own Solana. It's quite obvious that Solana was making a move early on. So if you held these 4 or 5 coins instead of all the rest of them, you did like 10 times as well as everyone else. This is what I want to get across today. Coins that start outperforming always continue to outperform. You know, it's just a law of gravity. It happens every time. It's happened in every stock market in the world for 100 years. And it just, you know, you want to earn, you want sand. Well, you can see that this bright green line starts outperforming way before it does this. So let's go back to our current thing. INJ, Rune, NIR, and HNT. Those are the current winners. You want to write those down. You now possess the ability to know with absolute certainty which coins are going to be the moonshots in this bull market. Now let me show you how to take all the thinking and the guesswork and, you know, who wants to have that skill, who wants to learn that. Some of you do, some of you just want to win. Let me show you how to turn it into a system that is going to take the money you make from that and double it every year on autopilot like it's done for me, just so you don't, well, actually, I'm not giving that system for free anymore. We can't do that. That's not fair. But we can automate the whole thing for you into a press button money printing machine. You'll learn how to ride this bull market for all it's worth. You're going to learn how to compound your gains into generational wealth without lifting a finger. So let's say you bought Bitcoin at the perfect time for $3,700. After a couple of years, you've made an average of 57% through all the fuckery of Bitcoin. It's pretty good still. Hodling works for Bitcoin. But with us, you've made 107% per year. And we've kept that up. You would have made 57% per year while we made 107% per year over that exact same time. We did it with a very high Sharpe ratio, 1.81. You made it without experiencing one single bit of the torment and pain that Bitcoin hodlers had to go through. And at any point, you can cash your money out. You never get stuck holding the bag. Like if, let's say you want to buy a car here, you bought Bitcoin at 69,000, at 16,000, you can't cash out. Like that sucks. But with us, you bought Bitcoin at 69,000, you're showing a handy profit, you buy that car out of profits. In fact, if you bought at the top of the absolute, you bought at the absolute tippy top of the last bull market, you're like 3.8 times your money or something stupid. You never had to try and time the exit. And timing the exit is the hard bit. You never experienced a losing year. You never get stuck holding the bag when the bear market's hit. And the bear market's always hit. If you put 10,000 bucks in this back in 2019, you'd have 110,000 in Bitcoin. Pretty good. You'd have 146 in altcoins. A little bit better, but probably not enough for the extra risk. With FinRev, you're at 380. And at 380 grand, you're just a few years away from a $14 million retirement fortune. Like after 5 years of doing this, you can see it's just around a couple of bands. All you have to do is stay the course. Like me, a couple of years ago, I was working on low 7-figure accounts, and now I'm in low 8-figure accounts. You just have to hold the course, and you'll get there. So if you wish you had a time machine, Marty, we have to go back 2011. Let's buy some damn Bitcoins. This is the next best thing. My retirement accounts aren't $4.3 million anymore. This is an old slide. They're now $10 million. I've been running it on crypto for a couple of years now, and the results are incredible. A year ago, we offered it, well, over a year ago, 2 years ago, we offered it to our best clients in the middle of the bear market, during the bear market, while everyone else was taken in the ass. This was the bear market for us. We had some swings, but we did 100% a year at sharp 1.7 in the bear market. I'm very proud of this. And we compare it to this is the 2023 full year performance of the biggest hedge funds in the world. There's one guy at 59, a couple at 44, 5 in, we're back to 20%. But most of these guys are under 10%. Like we're just beating him. We're beating him like redheaded stepchilds. We're just beating the pants off these massive multi-billion-dollar hedge funds who do exactly the same as us, by the way. Some of them, CTA, anything CTA is what we do. Who else does trend following? All of these do some form of trend following as well. We've beaten you every year since 2019. We promised to double people's money in a year. We did it. Every single person who's used this system for longer than 6 months, the last 6 months, when the market goes sideways, we don't make any money. We make money when the market moves. Everybody wins, no exceptions. Everyone's winning. Everyone in the company uses this. Everyone's in profit. Let me show you how it works. I'm going to have to re-log in, which I apologize for that. Get my authenticator. This is part of the security. Log in. Here we go. Okay, so this is an account that I set up at an extremely high leverage. I set it up during the recent period. I put 60 grand in here, and
share screen again, dude.
Sorry, man. This is we have what's called a volatility target. And how does that work? It's 12 months. So these are at different volatility targets. We have a very mild volatility target, which is 35 for risk-averse investors. who've still made, 53%, but they haven't had very big drawdowns at all. You can risk 35, 40, 45, 50. I have another account risking 90% is crazy, because this will probably either 10x the account and turn this 90 grand into 900 grand in the next 6 months, or it'll probably lose about 30%. It'll be one of those others. So here we go. So this is what it's looked like. It looks like steady up period. In a bear market, it looks like flat with big up periods. And then we have sideways periods. Anyone who tells you systems don't lose money is lying to you. We lost money when the market started shitting the bed. We kept ourselves in the game. We've banked off all of our short exposure. And what are we in now? We're in, look at the size of our long positions, 18,000, 5,000, 5,000. This is just a $90,000 account compared to the short positions, which are all short. So let me show you how it works. We can go to our portfolio. Sort by notional value. You can sort by longs or shorts. So right now, these are we're mostly long, and we have 2 pages of shorts. So my favorite way to sort it is by notional value. And you can see these are our positions from biggest to smallest. And you can see of our top 10 positions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 10 of the top 10 are long. So we're about probably 75% long right now. We're not completely long. We're about 75% long. You can go through our trade history and see what happened on every single day. So today, what happened is we bought a little bit more Rune, we sold a little bit more comp, but we're not selling much. We bought 73 Runes at $4, $300 worth. We sold $100 worth of comp. We bought $200 worth of ape. And you can see exactly what you do on every given day. And you can see a couple of days ago, we just bought everything. Monday 15th, we bought everything. Sunday, we bought everything. Saturday, we bought everything. Friday was a bit mixed. And if we look at the charts on Friday, the charts on Fridays were still a bit mixed. As soon as we switched to bullish mode, as soon as we got to Saturday, we started buying. This is how the system works. It's a very, very, very good system. What else can I show you here? Let me show you how it is to set up. Okay, let me show you one of my own accounts. I had about $1 million in this. Most of it is at a sensible leverage. You can see my volatility target here is 90. I have an authenticator set up. I have API credentials. So what do I do? My exchange is Bybit. I go to Bybit and I create an API key, and then I save it, and that's it. And you can see you should pay a lot of attention to what I do, and you should pay far less attention to what I say. When did I add more money to this system? I added $60,000 on the 24th on the 19th of April. I added another $10,000 on the 14th of May, the day after my birthday. And I added another $20,000 in June. So that's basically how it works. And that's what I've done. I added all my new I added $90,000 worth of capital, and I added it all to the very highest leverage account that I can recommend. Okay, let me show you how to get nerdy and dirty for a couple of minutes. So this is about creating generational wealth from crypto. So you start with $10,000, and we're doing on average 100% a year. That might be as low as 70% one year and as high as 150% another year. But on average, it's 100%. After 5 years, you've got 320 grand. But the whole point is the compounding kicks in late. 90% of all the money that you'll make out of trading comes in the last couple of years. And that's been true for me. I'm up like $4 million year to date. Our strategy is done on average 107% per year at 45% volatility target. Once you get to a decent balance, the compounding kicks in, and then you start earning millions a year. That's how it works. Now, what you really want to do here is relax and enjoy the ride. And if you can keep your hands off the steering wheel, the big danger here, the danger is it goes down for 2 months or it goes sideways for 2 months, and just switch my video off and back on. Zoom doesn't like hand gestures. If you can manage to keep your hands off the steering wheel, it's going to make you rich in 5 to 10 years. This is the 100x Coin Club is a long shot. Well, not long shot, but the 100x Coin Club is about getting a decent grub stake really quickly, starting with a little bit. If you're starting with $500, you want to concentrate into some good low cap coins. Hope that we get a bull market. Those things 100x. Then you've got a decent stake, but let's be honest, what you're going to do is lose that stake if you hold on. You want to dump it out into this. If you can just not mess with it, if you can just not worry about the day-to-day fluctuations, you can be highly confident here. Work for me. I tell you how it's worked for me. Now, there is a difference between bull and bear markets. In bear markets, we get much longer sideways periods. You might have noticed that the sideways period that we had here was very long. Before we started coming back, it was from 13th of May to really the start of June. So that's what? 45 days of fuckery, and we're still not back to where we were. That's just the game. In bear markets, we go sideways for a long time, and we have very sharp rallies. In bull markets, we have slower, steadier rallies and very shorter 19 to 31 day periods, sideways periods. We were almost into bear market territory a couple of weeks ago. We're not now. We're back on. So my goal for you is the ability to do whatever you want, wherever you want, with whoever you want, for as long as you want. What do I want to do? I want to walk on the beach every morning with my Labrador. I want to do as much travel as I want. I want to go to Japan skiing every year with my kid and watch her ski. I want to spend time with my elderly parents while I still can. I want to go back to Australia 2 months a year, and I do that. I go back at the best time of year. I don't want to buy 100 grand watches and Ferraris. Like I did all that when I was a kid. That's all lame. I want to have a beautiful house, and I want to love my wife more and more every day. I want to enjoy spending time with my wife. I want to watch my kid grow up. You know, I want to do all this hands off. I want to do whatever the hell I want. And I don't want anyone telling me what to do. And I don't want any money getting in the way of anything reasonable that I want to do. I won't be buying islands or mega yachts or any stuff like that. What I want is a beautiful home in a lovely part of the world. And I want to spend a lot of time with my kitties and my dog and my kid and my wife. And I want to eat really good food and be healthy. So money is just a tool to give me the stuff that I want. I want to be happy. I want you to be happy. I want you to do whatever the fuck you want. So who's impressed so far? I owe you a big thank you. All of you put up with the last 3 months of bear market fuckery. It's been hard. It's been real hard. I think anyone who's still here after the last 3 months, give yourselves a clap. It's absolutely shaken everyone's faith. And it is the honor of my life to grind like an animal for this community. And sometimes you don't always see me in a group, but I'm all like I work so hard improving this trading system. I've got so much to show you. I've got wonderful things to lead us all to generational wealth. This system gets better all the time. Now, I've got one more thing to show you. Truly, I've saved the best for last. What if you could earn twice as much as the system I've just shown you? What would that do for your life? I'm going to show you some stuff I've never shown before at the end today. So how much faster could that get you to your freedom? So if you're starting with $10,000 in red and $10,000 in blue, one's 100%, one's 200% a year. By year one, it's a big difference, but by year two, it's blowing out. It's 90 versus 40. By year three, it's ludicrous, and then you're off and running. Adam, it is hard to keep the abundance manifesting mindset when you open and look at your accounts. Does the system trade everyone's accounts at the same time? No, we randomize it so no one front runs anything. Now, the really big algo trading firms, the way that they make so much money, or the what's called multi-strat firms, is they're blending together a little bit of everything. They're not just trend following, which is what we do right now, works when we have trends. We go sideways, doesn't work at all. We bleed. We get a trend, we make money up or down, we go sideways, we bleed. What the really big algo firms do is they take some strategy that makes money when we go sideways. They take some strategy that works when we have trends. They take a different strategy that works this time. They work a different strategy that they blend them together. The whole is more than the sum of the parts. Now, the next edge that we've added, and I'm going to show you the third one at the end of this presentation if we have time and take some questions on it and run you through some maths. Carry is one of the strongest edges there is in finance. There's far more institutional money using it than trend. Carry is the idea that if you get paid an interest rate to hold the thing, you're probably it's going to be more attractive. You can see it's not quite as good as trend. It's 53% a year, sharp 1.17. It's still pretty good in TradFi, but it's not bad. But look at what happens when we combine it. I like a 65-35 ratio. My friend James wants a 50-50 ratio. You might be different. We're looking at carry, which is 53% a year, sharp 1.17, trend, which is 100% a year. You combine them together, the total is more than the sum of the parts. We go from 100% to 243% per year. Now, this is run at a little higher leverage than I would want you guys to run. We never use leverage, but I use leverage as a proxy. Our max drawdown doing this is 34%. I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend dialing this down to somewhere between 180% and 200% a year. I think that's the sweet spot. And we build you a custom system. We sit down with a trading expert who says, where do you need to get to? When do you need to get that by? Let's give you a fair margin for error. Let's be conservative. When are you going to need to pull your money out? Let's be conservative. Let's be realistic. And we build you a system that's custom for your goals. But this is the difference between retiring at 40 and retiring at 50. And because this has been life-changing for me and my family, I want to give you the deal of a lifetime. So here's the deal. We got 3 tiers of FinRev available for you today. FinRev Silver is a signal service. You just log on, it tells you what to buy it and sell every day. You've got about 3 days a week of 10 to 15 minutes of work. It's a simple thing. You can do it yourself. Some of the people in our company use FinRev Silver. Some of them use FinRev Gold. Some of them use FinRev Platinum. FinRev Gold is the fully automated system I've shown you today, which is $6,500 for 3 years of fully automated trend following trading. Why do we sell it in 3-year blocks? Well, it's a multi-year plan. And also, what happens at the end of those 3 years? Am I going to sting you for another $6,500? No. You just pay us 20% of the profits that we make together. So if I don't make money, you don't make money. We have FinRev Platinum, which is our top tier system. This has all of our fully automated trading that you've already seen with all of our systems, including future upgrades, which is cross-sectional carry and cross-sectional momentum. I'm going to show you at the end of this presentation. If we have time, for those who are super nerdy, I'm going to go through some maths. This increases the Sharpe ratio. This increases the risk-adjusted returns. It decreases drawdowns, but it also comes with one other feature. You can split your risk between multiple exchanges. If you're worried that Binance or Bybit is going to pull an FTX and steal everyone's money, that's probably not going to happen, but it's a reasonable concern. The smart thing is to split your risk between exchanges. You can also do what I do, which is have most of my money in a fairly conservative leverage, making about 80 to 100% a year. And then I have some of my account, only just 90 grand, in an account, in something that's going to do 1,000% if we get a bull market. So this gives you the ability to do what we call a barbell portfolio, which is have most of your money in something pretty safe, and then a little bit of a gambling bet that's going to outperform any of those altcoins. So FinRev Gold, 6,500 for 3 years. You get 3 years of automated algorithmic trading with FinRev, which is absolutely state of the art. You get VIP onboarding with one of our expert crypto trader coaches. And these are not like customer service guys from the third world. These are guys who use the system themselves with their own money. Everyone in the company uses this money. These are guys who've been there, done that, sat through the bad times into the good times. You get all of these stats and monitoring that I've showed you today. You can delay starting or pausing at any time. So let's say you're like me and you've got 200 grand worth of Retardio. I don't want to pull that 200 grand worth of Retardio out just yet and shove it in FinRev. You can pause it, wait till it hits your number. You can start scaling out and put it into FinRev. So this is a way to keep your bags. And we have a double your money guarantee. So the double your money guarantee is if you haven't made profit in the first 12 months, and everyone in the history of this system has made money in the first 12 months, we'll let you use it for free until you've doubled your money. The clock doesn't start until then. You can get a call. These calls fill up really quick, so I recommend you buying at finrev.trade/call. Now, the top tier platform is not just trend following. Trend following has this characteristic of makes great money, goes sideways, makes great money, goes sideways, makes great money, gives a bit back. It can be a little bit frustrating, I'm not going to lie. It makes money at the end of the year, every year. No doubt in the world, it makes money at the end of every year. At the end of every month, this is the distribution of monthly returns. You can see that we've got some months, a lot of months where it doesn't make much money. We've got a lot of months, we've got quite a lot of months where it makes incredible money. And we've got very few months where it makes big losses. But that can be hard to live with. FinRev Platinum smooths that out. And it gives you the ability to take some long shot bets. So if you've got a $10,000, if you've got a $20,000 portfolio, I'd put $1,000 in long shot bet. A bet that's going to come off. Would you take a bag and put it in your FinRev system until you get your 9,500? Yes, there's specials for tonight only deal. Can you start on gold and then move to platinum? Yes, you can. You just pay the upgrade fee. It's not any extra. Would you? And that's probably a good place to start. Okay, Black Knight has an interesting question. What does this do for someone who's 62 already? It's slightly different for you. Depends. Okay, Black Knight, are you still employed or are you retired? And is your job a salary or is it some kind of like seasonal internet thing that can easily get cut down to zero? Or is it steady? It's a salary. Okay. So if you were running a highly risky way of making a living, like you're doing some sort of internet thing, I would say you have to dial down the risk profile. For someone 62, are you behind your goals for retirement or are you on track? If you're on track, this should be a very small percentage of your portfolio. If you're behind your goals, it's a little bit different. So where are you? Okay, if you're not on track, you have to take more risk than perhaps buy and hold in the stock market. But you can't take so much risk that you can risk using it all. So the 100x coin club, what I'm doing with like betting on these long shot things and holding spot coins while they go up or down 50%, that's not for you at age 62. It's not. You might be able to put a couple of $1,000s in that, but there's no way I'm telling you to risk your future on that. So would it be prudent to take more than 50 vol if you're 62? Let's answer that question with the data. So these are our various vol targets. Orange is 50, green is 45, red is 40, blue is 35. You can see in the good times, blue underperforms, red underperforms green. This is what we want to see. But you can also see that the drawdown at 50% was from 56% down to 32%. That's a big drawdown. That might freak you out. I would say it depends on how much of your percentage of wealth you put in this. If you're putting 5, 10% of your wealth in it, not a big deal. If you're putting 30, 40, 50% of your wealth in it, you can't take 50%. You would probably be looking at 40 or 45. Now, you can see in the down times, blue, 35, has outperformed the others. Jamie, right now, if you have 10K total to invest, I would be in spot altcoins for the next 2 months. I wouldn't buy FinRev just yet, or I'd buy FinRev and put it on hold. And I would hope for a bull market, because with 10 grand only, you need a little bit of luck. I would hope that tripled, and then I would dump it all in FinRev. And if you're a full-time employee in your mid-50s, would you change managed super fund into self-managed fund and put 5 to 10% in FinRev? Well, for a start, you shouldn't take financial advice off a fat guy on the internet. But I would look at it depends how big your self-managed super is. If your self-managed super is meaningful compared to the cost of FinRev costs $1,600 a year. If you think you can make more than 1,500, if you think you can make 10 grand a year, if you think you can make between 5 and 10 grand a year, then that starts to make sensible. But your self-managed super costs are going to cost you at least $1,000 a year to run, and it's going to cost you $1,600 for FinRev. FinRev year to date is not in the negative for most people. So here is the start of the year at 0, and here is where we are. We're at between 43% and 35%. And I anticipate us achieving our promise, which is 100% a year, 100% for the full year. I anticipate us doing that. Absolutely. How much starting point to invest in FinRev to make it worth it? It becomes quite suboptimal below 5K. So let's look at the same thing with balances below 5K. That's not accurate because we didn't have balances below 5K before that. So the balances below 5K didn't quite get to the peak. So they got 15K, and let's compare it to, they got to 14%. They got pretty close, actually. Okay, Fee Edwards, been working 2 jobs for the last 30 years. I would start with the 100x Coin Club. If I would start with the 100x Coin Club. I think now is the time to press some risky bets. Now, you get grandfathered into new systems, and let me show you one of the ones that we have on the drawing board, which we're just working on yesterday. We got both trend following, cross-sectional carry. We've got our W money guarantee. Let me show you guys something cool. So this is the kind of research we do before we implement a new signal. And the things that make money in financial markets aren't a mystery. What we're doing here is right now,
Everybody. So let's see if I can just keep treading water until Scott rejoins us. So let's have a look then. So when you click on the link to FinRev, there is a questionnaire that you go through first of all. It's very, very short. And that questionnaire is we don't want anybody to, take anything that's not good for them. So we really want to be looking after our clients. So have a look at that questionnaire. Then you book with an enrollment director. And the enrollment director, they can answer just about every question that you have. And then if you join us, what happens is we get you an onboarding call with a coach. So that's a proper crypto coach that knows what they're doing, and they've also in FinRev as well. That's when you'll discuss with them about what volatility target you're going to use. So I personally use a 50% volatility target on my long-term FinRev account. And then I've got 2 other long shot bet accounts that Scott talked about, with much smaller amounts, and I've got them cranked up sort of 90% and 100%, and I'll run them, at the risk that they'll go up quick like that, but with it being 100%, they'll also come down quick like that. So really with volatility, volatility is like how much your account wiggles. So if your account is at 100%, like these long shot bet accounts, then it moves up quick, and it also moves down quick. So if you're more at 50%, 40%, 30%, that means that the swings kind of become less violent from there. But there's plenty of information, and the coaches will also go through that with you as well. Okay. Aramith.scratch. Are you in the 100x, dude? Are you joined us with anything? So will there be? Hey, there we are.
hey guys,
Just did you got that
Sorry
funny?
about that one.
Yeah. It's cool, good, man. We've been treading water, so I've just been explaining simply the process of what happens after people click on the link, and the enrollment directors and what great guys they are, and then the onboarding with the coaches as well. I discussed a little bit about volatility,
okay.
how much wiggles, and how the onboarding coach will go through that. So bit of treading water.
I apologize for that. So now I'm gonna get a little bit nerdy, and I'm going to show you the kind of work that we do here. So this isn't just like Scott thinks it's going to go up, Scott thinks it's going to go down. What we have is a PhD physics quant. He used to work for BlackRock. He does all the research, and we have a team of really top 1,000 in the world developers. We've got 2 of them, and what we're going to do is we're going to. This is the code for those who know it. Actually, let me reload it because it's going to need to be reloaded. You haven't seen this in.
Oh no.
So what we're going to do is we're going to aggregate stable coins every day. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to make momentum features, which are momentum is a word for trend. And we're going to look at a very raw cross-sectional momentum feature. Now, cross-sectional momentum is slightly different than trend. It's what's called delta neutral, and it'll be long exactly half, and short exactly half. So we're not taking any directional risk. So these are the next generation of signals that we have. So our current signals are all if the market trends in one direction, we make money. If the market trends in the other direction, the weakness of that is, what if the market goes fucking sideways? We're fucked. This is solving that problem. So what we're doing is taking the correlation of our signal with future return components. This is called the information coefficient. This lets us know, this is our information coefficient. This lets us know how well the signals are performing. And so what we're going to, we can see cross-sectional momentum. It looks kind of crappy, but we're gonna plot total returns versus 20-day momentum Z score for the top 200 perps. And how does that look as a back test? You can see it didn't do very well in the bear market. In the bull market, it's done pretty well. Now, if we restrict this to the larger market cap stuff, which we know trend works better on the larger market cap stuff, we can see more consistent cross-sectional momentum of a universe that's a bit more the same. We can see that momentum is more a consistent predictor of sticky funding effects for shitcoin stuff, but that's another effect that we're also harnessing. So if we weight each asset in proportion to delta neutral momentum, you can see this looks much more consistent than trend. Trend is feast or famine. This is much more consistent with little bits of crash. Now, if we vol normalize our data, we've got it working a little bit as well, a little bit better as well. And we can see better explanatory power on the wider universe. Now, this is critical because trend really only works on the top 50 coins. We've sought to explain why that works. We can take a look at a large volatility normalized universe, group it by market cap, and we can see that, broadly speaking, the feature, our cross-sectional momentum, explains more of how this works for the bigger coins. So it's better, this is worse. As we get down to the bottom coins, it's not explaining very much at all. In fact, it's a negative momentum effect. So we see a broad and noisy relationship, and all finance relationships look noisy. So our next job here is to see whether the size effect itself is an edge. And we can see that size, market cap, predicts returns. So this is break even. This is our big coins. This is our small coins. You can see that on average, the big coins go up faster on average than the small coins, even though there's some big small coins. This is very important. And this is basically the kind of stuff that we do before we do some pretty serious maths and statistics before we get anywhere near risking your money. Before we risk your money, I risk my own personal money. Now, you don't need to understand any of this shit, right? Like, this is stuff. Amaranth, what I believe is that every single one of you should be using FinRev. That's what I believe. And I believe it strongly. As much money as I've been able to make with the 100x Coin Club, well, I haven't been able to keep much with the 100x Coin Club. I've been able to accumulate a lot of wealth by taking money that I make from that and sticking it into this. Yep. So if you join in August 23, you definitely get grandfathered in, Craigo. And the small coins that I like right now, let's go through them, just so that you don't think this was all marketing bullshit and bait and switch. I think this coin is going to be a billion or a multi-billion-dollar coin. It's under $100 million right now. I think there's a 10x index. I think the evidence is off the lows, Rune is very strong. I like Rune right now at 463. I like it to at least 11 and probably double that. I like Neon. I think this is a very strong coin. And where is our... Let's look at what else we like. What else do we like? We like INJ. What does INJ look like? I think that looks great. Any other coins you guys want me to look at? I think Jupiter looks really good. I think MOG is the standout large cap meme coin. Look at this. It barely got hit while everything else was taking it in the ass. Yeah, NEAR for non-Aussies. Sorry about that, guys. OM looks great. Pepe. Pepe should be treated like Ethereum beta. It should be treated like Ethereum on steroids. And I think Ethereum is a very, very solid bet. XRP has been very strong the last couple of days, but over time it's been weak. Let's look at what XRP we are currently long. So let's have a look. And we just got long. The wolf and the silly and the small meme coins, this is beyond the scope of the call today. But I'm interested in, has anyone got any, medium, large cap coins that they want me to check? Happy to have a look. Ondo is amazing. Look at this, barely took a punch. So this is this is what you want to see. What you want to see is an undamaged chart. Woo in. This one got hurt a little. Is it a buy here? Absolutely. But this one got absolutely savage. We sold most of mine out at 45. I love this coin. As a coin, as an exchange, as a concept, I think this is great, but it's not getting off the ground the way it should. Okay, AVAX. Doesn't look good right now. If we get a big bull market, everything's going to go to all-time highs. But right now, Milady's are just going to dominate the Milady's, Remilios, Retardio Cousins. Those three are the standout NFTs of this cycle. Forget Base C and forget everything. They ruin their brand. And I'm not an NFT guy. I don't like NFTs. Oil gamble. I'm very aware of data mining for oil and gas. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, I agree. XMR Moreno, Monero, sorry, is a coin that runs its own race. So I'm bullish on it for the long term, but it's been a heartbreaker. ICP. Coming back strongly. How does it look? So ICP is the blue line. Look at that. That is a very strong coin. Look at it. It's just, see here how it started to outperform its coins. And GRT. Let's have a look. In the middle of the pack. Not bad, not good. PAL isn't an AI coin, it's a stock, isn't it? The AI coins that I really like are Bet, which got savaged, AR, which got savaged, but has come back a bit harder. AI, I think is a solid bet, but it's not a slam dunk. So AR and Fed. OP, yeah, that's garbage, dude. That's a coin that's trading back where it was, like right back at the start. H bar looking very good. Not so much. I would be a little bit cautious with this one. Anytime you see a giant candle like that, that's usually the end. RNDR, yes, I think it has legs. Yes, I think it's a good coin. But what's it doing right now? It's going down while other things are going up. It's behind in the race. I would personally rotate my capital into something more, into something that's actually going up. I'm not going to do very small coins that we haven't heard of, but yeah, I mean, I've taken up 2 hours of people's time here. If you need a payment plan, if you need a shorter commitment, if you need a longer commitment, if you're not in profit after a year, the clock stops, restarts, and your time, your 3 years only starts once you've doubled your money.
That's fantastic. That was a really great session today. So the replay will be out in a few hours' time. That'll go out via the email, and the enrollment directors can answer all of your questions. So keep your eyes peeled for the inbox.
Yeah, guys. So the things that are working right now should continue to work. I think Sol meme coins are back in play. I think the best Ethereum meme coin is Pepe. I think MOG is a meme coin that's going to jump the shark. I think PopCat is a meme coin that's going to bang to $5-10 billion. And I think there was a giant big hack in India yesterday, and they stole a lot of SHIB. So let me just quickly look at SHIB, and you'll see how Shiba. really took it in the ass yesterday. I think Shiba might have some problems. If you're in Shiba, I think we're looking to get fleet. Now, as far as the leverage trading boot camp, perfect timing, absolutely perfect timing. You know, I'm up 94% in the first week. I think we can. I think we can double our money every month for the next 3 months doing that leverage trading stuff, but it's risky and you got to be on it every day. 18 weeks isn't long, man. Is there still an opportunity to get into that? Yeah, just message Ian in the group. Best call in a while. Thank you, Scott. Good patience today. Yeah, I'm sorry if I waffled a bit and I went on, but today is a critical time. Like, let's just cap sharp on what. So let's look at the market cap. This is the market cap of altcoins. So you can see when altcoins go, they really, really fucking go. Like they really, really go. But when they die, they really, really die. And so altcoins went from, we put this on the top. Altcoins got down as low as 40% of their price. And some of them went down as low as 70% of price. Now it looks like we're ready to do probably something like this. The big signal is here. This is the goal. Once we get above here, once we got above here, you can see that everything goes nuts. Why? Because everyone stops selling once they have all-time highs. FinRev, I predict takeoff from here. I strongly predict takeoff here. There's a couple of reasons for that. One is we gave back a lot of our short profits, and that's usually a sign that things are going to go great. And I see that in my traditional finance trend following. I see it every day. I watch it every day. I've added more funds personally to this. I reckon we're going to get to 8 figures of. I reckon I'm going to get to 8 figures of crypto wealth. I have 8 figures of TradFi wealth this cycle, and I think the terminal phase of this cycle is going to be sometime after the honeymoon period for the election. So what I suspect is we're going to have a very strong bull run up to the election. I suspect that Trump's going to win. That like, I'm not a Trump fan, but that shit he pulled with the getting shot and the blood streaming down his face and he's like, fight. I was like, this is a guy I personally don't like at all. And I saw that and I thought, that's so badass. Like, he's got that election in the bag and he is solidly pro crypto. He's speaking at a crypto event. All his guys are crypto guys. His vice president, JD Vance, owns a crypto VC company. I mean, come on, guys. Like this, we know what Trump is. Trump is a guy that's solidly for rich guys. He's solidly for lower interest rates. He's solidly for flooding the country with money. He's probably going to do bad things for the US dollar, but he's probably going to do great things for crypto and risk markets. Now, while we're here, if you guys have 2 minutes, I can just show you one cool thing about all these shitty small meme coins that people are looking at. Do we have 2 more minutes, Ian?
Yeah.
All right. So let's take this fight meme coin that this guy just posted, Joey. First thing you want to look at, has it got a lot of liquidity? Let's look at a 1 hour chart. So it was listed yesterday. Some holders sold out because they, made 10 times their money. That's normal. What you want to see here, first of all, has the liquidity stayed the same? Then you want to go to the holders. There's 10,000 holders here. That's pretty impressive. The next thing that you want to see is, does any one holder, this is a liquidity pool, so you don't have to worry about that. Does any one holder hold 20, 30% of the supply? And you can see we can't. You see there's not. The top holders are all pretty good. Now, let's look at the transactions that some of these top guys have made. Let's pick a random couple out of the top. And you can see that these guys aren't buying and selling. So if we look at the top traders, we've had two guys sell out, making 100 grand each. They're probably insiders, 84 grand. And then by the time we get, this is a good looking meme coin. This is a low market cap. This is a fight soul. The next thing you want to do is go on their Twitter and their Telegram and see, is it real or is it a bunch of fake bullshit? Fight, 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 Trump related. And then you're going to open up the Telegram account and you're going to look and see, does it look real? That's how I do it. You want to see the first big drop before you buy. Why don't you want to buy it here when you can so easily 10x your money? Why? Because 95% of these go to zero. You want to see something that survived the first day. Why? Because it survived the first day. The odds of being a scam go from about 95% down to about 35%. The next thing that you want to see is when it goes down, you want to see that these big holders, which you can get on Deck Screener, haven't sold. You want to go through and just manually click on these and say, well, these motherfuckers who owned it here, did they sell it here? Then you want to look for signs of buying. You don't want to buy it while it's on its way down. You want to buy it when it's stabilizing. So this is a good time to buy. Now, the next thing that you want to do, let's say you buy it here. You want to set an automatic exit, or you can do it manually. And you do the automatic exit with one of the bots, like Unibot, like TrojanBot, like whatever. And you want to get your money out. You want to get your money out real quick. Probably when you double your money, if you're risky, when you've tripled your money. You just want to pull your initials out so you've got a free spin of the wheel. And then you want to hold. Now, let me show you what you're looking for when you hold, because this is one that I did. I got into this bad boy. I got everyone in on the first pullback here. We had this. I didn't want to sit through all of this, so we sold out here. When it starts looking like it's breaking out again, then you want to get back on. Now, if you were going to buy cock in you would want to check that the top holders haven't sold. You would want to do all that analysis again. It takes about 10, 15 minutes a coin. Which meme coin do I recognize to invest in now? Number one, Retardio. Number two, Popcat. Number three, Mog. If you're looking at really small coins, Billy. And I like this one that the guy just showed. Fight, fight, fight. I think that's probably a decent play to bet one sold to five solds. So betting $200 to $1,000. I wouldn't bet the farm on any of these meme coins. They're not worth it. Okay, does that answer everyone's questions on meme coins? Is there any other questions I can answer on anything? Okay, so I want the drop to happen in the first day. in the first couple of days, really. The first drop is worth buying. The second drop should be a big drop, and you want to check around here to see if the top holders, and you can sort them using Dex Screener. Well, there's paid products as well. You want to see what they're buying and selling. If they still have faith in the coin, you should still have faith in the coin. No, you can't buy any of these small coins on exchanges. So the game for meme coins is you buy them before they're on exchanges, and then as soon as they get listed on exchanges, this happens. This was all an exchange listing. So let's look at MOG. This was the first stage, big pullback. This was exchange listings. So on exchange listings, more people get to buy them, more people get to see them. The reason I like Pepe because this is an obvious one for normies to buy. It's like something they recognize. You can see this was its first run, and this is when it started getting listed on exchanges. This is its big pullback. I'm still holding this. What are the best places that to find meme coins that aren't on exchanges in US? Great question. Two ways. You need a Solana wallet. I recommend the meme coins on Solana are where the action is. Why? Because the fees are low. And you use either radium.io or Dupe Exchange. What about Base Network? Really great question. There is one meme coin. Base Network sucks. There is one meme coin on Base, which is called Based. I really, really like it. I think it's worth a flyer. I think the meme coin called Based on Base Chain, and all these other chains are a ball ache. They're like so annoying to get to. You have to be really, really careful. You have to really be careful not to get scammed. Like you have to be like super, super, super careful about everything. The other way is you can go to Hyperliquid Exchange, which you can use in America. The meme coin that I like is their own personal meme coin. Let's look at it on a daily chart. I think this is a great one. You can buy it on leverage. Do you have any concerns that the current adjustment period for lag versus up or down trends are too slow? No, not at all, because the big money is in the big move. We have a choice and we adapt between fast and slow, but we adapt within a strange range, with a constrained range. So we adapt between 60% and 140%. So if you want to catch the big move, if you want to catch the move from here to here, and then from here to here, these are long-term moves. So here we were long, we ratcheted off shorts to by about here we were break even. Here we were short, and we're ratcheting off shorts at about here. So here we made a lot of money, gave most of it back. Here we made a lot of money, gave some of it back. This is just, you can't have your cake and eat it too. FINREV DYDX version 4 is currently live, pushing out the last bugs, and we are loading the first accounts today. Our new high security boxes are in their racks, and everything's going great, and it looks much, much, much better than DYDX V3. I wholeheartedly recommend the upgrade. Do you use Arbitrum for any reason? I have used it. I use it for Hyperliquid Exchange because it works on it uses ARB. Mog Popcat, where is Retardio tradable? Retardio, it's tradable on the top pool is Radium, RAYDIUM.io. So these are all distributed exchanges. And there's one spot exchange, which is CoinX, which is a third tier thing with like no depth on it. You would buy it all the time on Radium. And I think Retardio, if we do a search on Retardio on Twitter, what they did is very smart. They gave free Retardio to all these Miladies, Remilio, NFT communities, which are just retarded. You can see there's a bunch of people who are putting their pronouns as ret.ar. There's a Retardio World Order movement. People are finishing their tweets with Retardio. Big influencers are all over this. I think this is the slam dunk meme of the cycle. So what I'll finish the call up now because I've gone 2.5 hours. That's ridiculous. Go to finrev.trade, make a call, book a call. This is what you should be doing. This is what I do. Look, I know I've told you that the 100x Coin Club is super easy, and it's not easy. You've got to hold through these giant big swings. It fucks with your emotions. Yeah, you can do it. I'll show you how. Yeah, I am doing it. All these small coins that we're in, where this is the time, but you're probably going to have a really great experience making money and a really hard experience keeping money. The play is to balance, make the money in 100x, keep the money with FinRev. That's the way. Adam, I think it's I think most of those are scams, and I would be very, very careful about clicking anything on the internet. If you're in FinRev and you want more action, reach out. We'll give you an extra DGen account. You can put some at you can put some at 90 or 100 like me. I can post a link in the chat regarding Retardio. It's but you just Google coin market cap currencies Retardio and it'll give you a list. Once Retardio gets listed on centralized exchanges, I think it's going to go straight to $1 billion, and I'm taking some profits at $1 billion, but I think this one could be I think it could be a $2, $3, $4, $5 billion coin.
There we go. Good done. What a way to rubber stamp an absolutely fantastic 2.5 hour session, dude.
I'm really sorry. I just waffled today. I was just in the mood. Like it's the bull market now. Like it's time to lock in, guys. Fucking lock in. Lock in. I know it's been boring the last 3 months. Don't think I'll come back and check it in a month. Now is the time. You're going to make 80% of your profits in the next month. Lock in. Lock in. Are you locked in, Ian?
I am fully. I got 2 DGen accounts, a normal account, and me 100x. Life is great. Bring it on.
Dude, my wife freaked. We're building a house right now, and my wife freaked out. I walked into the Italian kitchen store, and she's like, "Oh, the kitchen you've just specified is 5 million baht." She's like, and that's like more than a house over here, right? Like, and I'm like, "Yeah, baby, I do want a $200,000 kitchen in my house. I'm sorry."
Exactly. And
she's like, "But it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. You don't need." I'm like, No, you don't understand, baby. I really do need a $200,000 kitchen.
Exactly. Then you'll have this house that is like the house is built from Retardio, the kitchen is built from Tremp, and it's just each room is a maze.
That's what actually, it all comes from FinRev, because as soon as I make these profits, like they just dump into FinRev, like cocking you got me started. And yeah. So you only need one win. You get a winner. As soon as you have a winner, leave a moon bag, pull some out, shove it in FinRev. So you're not going to lose it. Like this is the play. This has always been the play.
This is the way. All right. I'm going to pull the plug.
All right, guys. Have a great
Awesome.
day.
Ta-da.